Olá, sejam todos muito bem-vindos ao conteúdo mais esperado da Semana do Vendedor B2B, na qual o Aaron Ross topou bater um papo com a gente e a gente está falando em português nesse momento para que todos possam acompanhar melhor o conteúdo e não limitar aqueles que falem inglês. A Plume está organizando essa semana em parceria com a Bimac e outros nomes sensacionais de empresas que estão apoiando e viabilizando esse conteúdo ser feito. Seja muito bem-vindo, ele é feito com muito carinho para que você, vendedor B2B, aprenda mais, aprenda melhor com conteúdo de qualidade. E para isso nós trouxemos o grande ídolo, o melhor aqui para dar opinião para vocês. So Aaron, please be very, very welcome, my friend.
Yeah, Octavio, yeah, thanks. Happy to be here. Obviously, I'm not in the same country, but here with you on the screen, because, you can never get enough screen time, right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Of
But
course.
it's like magic. I think it's not that many years ago when we couldn't do this. So it's a great opportunity to be able to talk to people who in another country and actually see you.
Pessoal, a gente quer saber a opinião do Aaron se tá todo mundo sentindo que a gente está trabalhando mais desde o momento da pandemia, né? A gente tem escutado isso muito em vendas, principalmente por conta do home office, né? Mas será que esse trabalho adicional, esse trabalhar mais, é o real motivo de tantos vendedores estarem se sentindo tão cansados, estarem com essa queixa tão constante?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. And it's not just because of the home office that sales reps are tired. And it's actually not just the sales reps that are tired. Sales managers are tired. VPs of sales are tired. Chief revenue officers are tired. CEOs are retired. It's pretty much everybody. And there's reasons for this. Now, before I get into them, I'd like to say the pandemic ultimately will create some great changes for us. But there's a lot of turmoil still we're working through. It's taking things that would have happened over the next 10 or 15 years and just sped them up. So it's a lot to handle all at once. Now, there's like one or two main trends that were already going to happen, and the pandemic just sped it up. And that really is this world of opportunity, this infinite landscape where you can do anything you want anytime because of the internet. You can be anything you want. You can start anything you want. You can talk to anyone anytime. It's an amazing opportunity. But we're not emotionally ready for this. It takes a lot of practice and training to be able to handle all this opportunity, because opportunity, like infinite opportunity, also means infinite anxiety and paralysis of choice. What do I do? I can do anything. What do I do? Oh, I could work anywhere. Like, where do I work? I could work anytime. Like, when do I work? So we're still working through this at a society level. So this isn't special to sales reps. This is to everyone. I see this with my teenagers. I see this with myself. I've been working remote for 10 years, so it's a little bit different. Lots of clients, and I hear about it. And in fact, someone said in the United States, which I don't live there anymore. We just moved to Scotland in the United Kingdom. They actually have a name for this, the Great Resistance. It's like all that, just the drag, the tiredness that we feel. Now, I am already tired. I've been tired for years having a big family. Like, I went from 0 kids to 9 kids in 7 years. So being physically tired alone, I've always been tired. Now, work-wise, so there's that. And work-wise, though, I also have had the experience of working with people that I don't like, and struggling with boundaries and making money, right? I make a lot of money. I make a lot of money, but I spend a lot of money. Like, we have 10 children and we live in, whether it's Los Angeles or Edinburgh, right? It is expensive. It's crazy how much money we spend. So it's crazy how much money I make, and it's crazy how much I invest. Not spend, I invest in the family. So I feel a lot of the uncertainty, or I have felt the being tired, what's going to happen, anxiety, uncertainty. And I see that it's like, whether it's me directly or my wife or my kids. I have a teenager right now, my 16-year-old son, who literally is every morning, he just broke up with his girlfriend. Every morning he wakes up with an anxiety attack, screaming, crying for like 2 hours. I sit with him. I'm the only one really who's the best person to be with him. He has trouble communicating with his mom, my wife. So I get up around, school's out, so 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. I sit with him 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. That's how I start my days right now. Everyone has some version of this. So yes, we're all tired. The pandemic accelerated it. And I think too, there's the acknowledgement that this existed beforehand, but now just more people are recognizing, more people are talking about it and the challenges they have. And this is it's the anxiety, the uncertainty, all the change, the overload, the overwhelm. And it's affecting us and your executives and the clients, the people you sell to.
Pessoal, pegamos aqui a visão do Aaron, da primeira pergunta, espero que vocês tenham apreciado e tenham conseguido absorver ao máximo. A gente vai conectar com a próxima pergunta, que está bastante relacionada agora, que é: quais são os principais sinais que nós deveríamos começar a se preocupar ou melhorar a nossa inteligência emocional? Aaron.
Yep. Emotional intelligence. This, my belief, is going to be the number one type of intelligence that you need for the future. I'm developing new ideas right now, right? And so I'm in the middle of this. A long time ago, there was a scarcity of food. And yes, let's talk about first world countries, or there's so many people in the world that don't have enough food, but in general, like we solved a lot of the food problem. So people have food. There was a lack of safety. Their houses are safety. There's a lack of information. Now there's an overwhelming amount of information. So again, focusing on kind of the first world problems. But now what we are left with, as this COVID pandemic leaves, we are going to have already have an emotional pandemic. It's an emotional scarcity of feeling connected to ourselves and others, of feeling confident, of kind of knowing, like enjoying work or enjoying life. Right? This isn't just salespeople, but it affects salespeople, and it affects your ability to succeed in your job and make money and to sell. So again, I think one important lesson is understand whatever you're going through is probably your clients and the people you're selling to are going through it too, and your managers and executives. And look, even the most perfect job, there's going to be days that you don't like, that just suck. So there's not some fantasy land where you find the perfect job, making the perfect amount of money, and you live happily ever after, and you never have any problems. That's not real. So even if you have a great job, what you want are like people you like to work with, doing something that you like to do, or at least learn about, and something that fits your work style, who you are. That's amazing. So again, if you feel like I don't want to go to work, I don't like work, I don't like the people I'm working with, I'm always tired, or I'm always confused, those are all signs that you want to kind of look at your emotional intelligence. And honestly, one part of that is starting to really listen to yourself. Like people would say, listen to your heart, listen to your gut, listen to that intuition, whatever you want to call it. It's like those feelings, those whispers that we ignore, that we say, in fact, I can't remember the name of the song, but in Frozen 2, the movie, there's a song, Into the Unknown. If you read the lyrics of that song, those lyrics made me cry.
Which one? Let It Go? No, it's not Let It Go, right?
Into the Unknown. It's from Frozen 2, Into the Unknown, because it really says, there's 1,000 little whispers there's 1,000 little whispers I ignore as I go about my day. It's basically, there's all these things and these desires that I want, that my heart, my gut, my spirit, God is telling me to do, but I ignore it because I'm too busy. It's not practical. I got stuff to do. I got bills to pay, blah, blah, blah. And so part of this is relearning to listen to those little things like, do you want to go buy a Lego set and do a Lego set? Fuck it, go do it. Do you want to paint? Guitar? Do you want to quit your job? Do you want to change your hours so that instead of in the morning, you work later? it could be small. Do you want to clean your room? I don't know. It doesn't have to be a big leap. Like for me, I started doing, like having a big family, it's been challenging for me to carve out time just for myself. One way, simple way I did it, I like puzzles. I got a puzzle at a charity shop and I put it on my desk and I work on it a little bit in there. So like little things too. That's relearning how to listen to yourself, to reconnect with who you are, what you want to do, and who you want to do it with. So ultimately, that if you just don't feel good most of the time, that's a sign you need to relook at emotional intelligence and find out where are some places that you can feel better in your life to find some new energy in what you're doing and who you're doing it with.
Pessoal, agora vimos alguns sinais de que devemos nos preocupar em melhorar nossa inteligência emocional. Aaron deu exemplos aqui muito interessantes. E conectando com a próxima pergunta, como é que líderes de vendas podem se prevenir, podem tomar conta de seus times para que eles não atinjam o famoso burnout? Aaron?
Yeah. Well, it's tricky. And this is something that everyone's dealing with. So there's a few places I can tell you to start with. So in my books, one principle that worked and works and changes lives and companies is the idea of specialization. People doing fewer things better. So in predictable revenue, Receita Previsível or hipercrescimento, the sequel, you've got like prospectors who prospect, closers who close, account management, and inbound lead response as one example. But the principle of that, so if you're in sales, if your leadership can make that type of change, and those exact jobs may vary depending on who you are, but like that alone can make things better. So, because one source of burnout is, again, overloading people with too many types of things to do. I feel that. I mean, if I look at I'm looking for an executive assistant right now because I just have, I mean, not that you can read this, but this is kind of the stuff I need to do, which a small part's for work, but mostly it's like family, paperwork, insurance, travel. I mean, there's just so many little, some of them are big, but there's so many little things. It just grates on my brain. Each little thing is small. Calling the vet to order new medicine, but they add up and add up and add up. It's like, oh my God. So as a salesperson, when you have to prospect and close and manage customers and respond to leads and juggle your other parts of your life, anytime that as a team, you can kind of focus your people on doing fewer things better, that will help. So it's common now. So today we need to think about hyper specialization, even more specialization. Very common. If you do have prospectors or outbound SDRs, that they get help from maybe like a list builder, someone whose job is just to do research and build lists. The other example is a head of sales. It's crazy to think that a head of sales could be the best at call coaching and email coaching and territory planning and quota setting and hiring and management. No one can be the best at all of those things. So how can you get support either from people internally at the company or externally for specialists who can come in, whether it's call coaching or territory planning or report building. But once they kind of know how it works, they should not be doing that unless they actually really like doing it. And some do, most don't. So you want to get your people, the salespeople and the managers, to doing ideally only the things that they really like to do or the things that they want to get great at, they have a talent for, and the things that they need to do, right? So there's basically, what do they like to do, great at, or need to do? And all the other stuff, as much as possible, should be delegated or handled by someone else, right? So if you have a VP of sales who's amazing at call coaching, horrible at writing, don't have them review emails. That doesn't make any sense. If you have a sales rep who is amazing at doing discovery calls with other people there, but horrible about writing proposals, don't make them write proposals. That's not going to help. Have someone else on the team or an outside consultant or some way, Like if you have 20 salespeople, some will be great at phone calls, some will not be great. Some will be great at writing. Some will try to help people focus on the things they can do really well, or the things they want to learn or need to learn well, and have other ways to support them in the things that they are not going to be good at and shouldn't be. That's like number one. I think it's a good place to start because it's very like specific and tangible. Other than that, for the leaders, again, or for anyone, if you're in a black hole where you're working for people or with people that you don't like and you don't trust, anything you could do to find a new situation, do it. They're not toxic, maybe they are, but working with people that you like, working with or for people you trust can make 180-degree change in your life. So the last thing I would say is lead by example, especially if you're a sales manager or a CEO or even a sales rep. When you kind of are changing yourself and re-looking at how can you be more focused on doing things better, working with people you like, doing things you like, finding ways to manage your day that fit who you are, what you need. Like if you're an early riser and if it's better for you to work in the morning and not at night, like how can you, work in ways that fit your kind of rhythm? When you do this, then, and you set the example for your clients or your team or your whoever, then that is important for you to have courage to lead by example, to not wait for someone else to show you how to do it. And part of this too is when I think it's important to start to practice being comfortable sharing more personal details about yourself at work or at clients. They could be small, could be big, but especially with screens, it's very one-dimensional. So when you can, I just shared an example where I have a teenage son suffering from anxiety and depression and other challenges. Do I feel embarrassed about that? No. Is it tired, stressful? Yeah. Does it make me less of a person or less successful if people in my family are struggling? Of course not. Do some people fear that if they share family problems, it will make them look, their reputation will go down? Totally. I mean, yes. But it's important because we're just people. Everyone's got problems. I have problems. You have problems. Elon Musk, famous people, Camila Ferrani, doesn't matter who they are. Everyone's got problems. It's our choice to be able to start to share them in ways that are connecting. So it's not about me wanting to kind of, I would say, dump or vent or cry to you, but I might just share stories and is in a way that you can relate to, and so we can form more of a human connection together. But again, whether it's teammate to teammate, manager to salesperson to client.
Pessoal, vocês estão vendo a importância que ele está dando para esse tópico da inteligência emocional, de burnout, de cuidar do time, de se preservar. Fantástica a perspectiva que o Aaron está compartilhando aqui com a gente hoje. E claro que fica uma curiosidade gigante se ele teria colocado isso nos livros que ele fez, que foram esses ídolos aí, né, do mundo das vendas, principalmente Receita Previsível e From Impossible to Inevitable, né, do impossível ao inevitável, seria em português. Então, foi essa pergunta que a gente trouxe aqui para o Aaron. Please.
Yeah. Well, there already are some aspects of this especially From Impossible to Inevitable or Tipo de Crecimiento. There's the last third of the book is about people and working with people. And to some extent, it's what's missing from that, what I would add, which really is probably going to be its own book, like people to people, because really what we're talking about is people connection, right? Connection to ourselves, connection to our teammates, connections to our families and friends, connection to our clients. So for that, it's about how important it is to focus on trusting relationships. One of the things I saw this last year was how vital trusted relationships are, whether they're at work or at home, towards emotional health. And you need emotional health to be successful at work. So that could be good friends that you can talk to. It could be with your partner. It could be with business people. But you need that. People need that. Another is sometimes you just need a third party. So like simple advice with teams, right? Make sure, so people need to have good trusted relationships. Another is if that's a struggle in some place at work or home, you might need a third party, like either a business coach, a business therapist, or a family therapist, or a child, basically, I don't use the word therapist, like a coach, someone who can help be a neutral party between two different people to help them communicate better. Right? I've had I have a business partner, don't always get along very well. We have a great business coach to help us communicate. With my wife, sometimes we have great communication, sometimes it's a challenge, and we don't have a good kind of coach or therapist right now, but we would like to find one. With my children, again, same son wants to find like a mediator to help him communicate with his mother better. It's not a failure. It's not a problem. Like this idea that of success we have, that we've done it alone and I don't need help and it don't show weakness, is harmful actually to real success, both in business and in life. It's like we're entering the age, and this again would be in the books around being able to being more open and more authentic and about who we are as people, which includes business, but also out of business, helps us succeed in business as well. Helps us feel better about ourselves and be more unique in who we are, and to bring that to what we do at work. And the last thing is, the world of work is being commoditized, right? You have lots of salespeople. All these companies all sound the same. All the people sound the same, because we don't have much of a chance to meet in person. So unless you're able to can be more of yourself, what your interests are, what you're interested in, who you are, and your style and the way you communicate with people, including over email or messaging and over screens, people aren't going to connect with you as much or remember you. So there's never been a time like this where we have to kind of be more authentic and honest, not only for our emotional and mental health, but also to make money. So this is challenging, but it's the beginning of a great revolution in business and life. I see it.
Perfect. Okay, Aaron, so that was the questions. I would like to thank you very, very much to be here with us on Semana do Vendedor B2B from Plums, Abimac, and some others. We really want to thank you for bringing your knowledge and everything you said for us here in Brazil. So it's really valuable for us. Okay, so thank you for being here, Aaron.
Yeah, Octavio. I can't even speak sometimes, Octavio. Really a pleasure.
Pessoal, essa foi a participação do Aaron Ross aqui conosco na Semana do Vendedor B2B. Estou agradecendo ele por ele ter aberto mão do tempo dele. Ele tem alguns filhos e algumas tarefas e um papelzinho ali de tanta coisa que não dá nem para ler que ele tem para fazer, e ele topou estar aqui com a gente, então foi espetacular. Muito obrigado, Receita Previsível. Muito obrigado, Aaron Ross. Todos os participantes, espectadores, apoiadores, Abimac, equipe Plumes, por fazer esse evento acontecer. Para mim foi particularmente um prazer indescritível, como vocês podem imaginar, estar aqui nesse conteúdo com vocês. Um abraço e está vindo muito mais por aí na Semana do Vendedor B2B.